Welcome everyone, my name is Michelle and I'm going to take you through a simple sequence with 7 yoga poses to help alleviate sciatica pain. And just remember that everybody's sciatica pain can be different, so being mindful of where yours is at today and honoring your body. If anything hurts, I just recommend you don't do it and modify or just pull back a little bit from that stretch. And we won't be using any props for this class today. So let's get started in our first pose, which will be lying down on our backs. And let's first start with the knees into the chest. This isn't really being accounted for one of the poses, just to start opening up the low back. So just squeeze the knees in. Take a big breath in to your belly. Open mouth, exhale. 2 more breaths just like that. Inhale, fill up your belly. And with that open mouth exhale, I really want you to feel for that low back, mid back, all the muscles just softening and relaxing. Did one more breath like that. And then bringing your feet back to your mat, coming into our first official pose. You're going to bring that right ankle on top of your left thigh, and you're going to let the legs fall over to the left. And then with your left hand grabbing onto that right ankle, kind of walking that foot in a little more. And then just notice what feels better for you here with the positioning of the leg. If the knee falls in more, you're going to get a deeper stretch, but that might be too intense. So you can focus more on sending the knee away. And then with your right arm, just opening it out to the side. And we'll take about 10 breaths in each pose. And I want you to focus on really allowing the glutes and the hips around the hip girdle, all of those muscles that just naturally kind of want to be activated to deactivate. Breathing in and out through your nose, nice, slow, deep, controlled breaths. And taking one more breath here. And then releasing that right ankle. Keep your legs in this same shape. Just bring them back up. And then we'll come into reclined pigeon pose. So now you're going to thread that right arm through that little opening there between the legs, and either bringing the hands clasping your fingers behind the back of that left thigh, or bringing them on top of the shin. If you bring them on top of the shin and hug that knee in, you're going to get a deeper stretch. But if the hamstrings are really tight or the shoulders are tight, it might be better to just bring the hand behind the back of your thigh. And give a gentle flex in that right foot, especially if you've had any ankle or knee injury, just to support the ankle and the knee. Let your left foot and leg relax. And to get the most out of this pose, the more you hug that left knee in, the deeper you'll feel that stretch into that right hip. And then it might also feel good just to take a few rocks side to side with the legs. And notice if you feel a little bit more of a stretch, if you let the legs just fall to the left a bit. My cat's coming to join us. And taking one more breath here. And releasing your hands, lowering your feet back to your mat. And then we'll take this to the other side. So now bending your left knee, left ankle on top of the right thigh, letting the legs fall over to the right. Using your right hand to grab onto that left ankle. And again, finding if it feels better to have that left knee falling more into you or having it sent away from you. And then to open up your chest, extend that left arm out to the side. Tuning into any tension or gripping through the glutes, through the hips here, through the low back. And use your breath to breathe into those areas, just to guide those muscles to soften and relax with each exhale. And taking a big breath in through the nose, filling up your belly, your back, your hips, your glutes. Open mouth exhale. And releasing that left ankle, bring the legs back up. And then we'll come into reclined pigeon on this side. So threading that left arm through that little opening between the legs. And again, either having the hands behind the back of the thigh or on top of your shin. Gentle flex through that left foot. Let your right leg and foot relax. And just letting the legs sway side to side, just a small movement. And then maybe letting the legs fall just a bit to the right and holding there. And then we just pause and breathe, guiding that sciatica to release its tension, its grip. And taking one more breath here. Big breath in through your nose. Fill up your belly, your back, your hip. Open mouth, exhale. Releasing the hands, releasing the legs, bringing your feet to your mat. And now take your feet nice and wide. Let the knees be wide. And then we're going to let the legs fall over to the left. And just pause here. Left hand comes to your belly. You can reach that right arm all the way back if that feels okay in your shoulder. If that's a little bit too much tension for you, that right shoulder, you can just bring that arm back out to the side like we had previously. Just let the legs be heavy. Feeling this probably mostly in your right quad, the IT band, and through the low back and hip. Breathing into your belly. Unclenching the glutes, the hips. And then slowly bringing the knees back up. Keep them nice and wide, and we're just going to let them fall right over to the right side. Switching the arms, right hand to the belly, left arm to the side or back behind you. Guiding those glutes to unclench. And bringing the knees back up to center. Bring that left arm back down. Walk your feet in, hip width distance. Good. And then we're going to bring the knees up, open out the arms to a T, and now let the legs fall over to the right, coming into a supine twist. Looking over to the left. Letting your shoulders relax. Unclenching your jaw. And just coming to a place of awareness of other places in your body that hold tension. So jaw is a very common one that we don't always or aren't always aware of. But when we allow the jaw to relax, then you may feel that full release and just become aware of how much tension you've been holding here. Same as through the neck and the shoulders. And if you'd like to come into this twist a little deeper, you can extend that left leg all the way out, letting your foot come to the floor. And the higher you bring that leg up towards your right hand, the deeper the stretch you're going to get. Let's take one more breath here. If your head was turned, bring it back to center. If that left leg was extended, bring it back. Engage your core as you bring the knees back up. And then we're just going to let them fall right over to the left, coming into our twist on this side, looking over to the right. And then a same invitation here if you want to come into this a little deeper. And this time extending that right leg out, resting the foot on the floor or where it can. And just taking 5 more breaths here. And last breath. Bringing your head back to center. If that right leg was extended, bring it out. Now, instead of coming back onto our backs, I'll just have you bring your right arm all the way over. You're going to come to your left side body and then pressing yourself up. Perfect. And then from here, we'll make our way into a tabletop. So aligning your shoulders over your wrist, hips over your knees, have your feet hip width distance, fingers spread nice and wide. And we're going to take a different variation of cat and cow. So you're going to tuck your toes under and inhale, come into cat pose. So doming your spine, belly button to spine, chin to chest. And then you're going to exhale, slowly send those hips back towards your heels. Feeling this deep stretch through the low back. We're keeping our head up. And then inhale, come back up. You're still in your cat pose, so spine is still domed. And now you'll exhale, come into cow. Drop the belly, send the tailbone up towards the sky, looking forward. Inhale, come back into your cat. Exhale, send the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, come back up. Exhale into cow. Taking one more round. Inhale to cat. Exhale it back. Let's stay here for one full round of breath. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, cow. Perfect. Neutral spine. Untuck the toes. You can just tap the tops of your feet. Child's pose. Widen your knees, bringing the big toes into touch. Send your hips back to your heels. And then walking the arms out, lowering your forehead down. Resting here. Let the arms be soft and relaxed. Breathing into your belly, to your back, to your hips. Deepening your breath. Inhale through the nose. Fill up your whole back. Open mouth, exhale. Sliding the hands back down towards you, pressing yourself up. We'll come back into our tabletop. And then we're going to extend that left leg all the way back. Tuck the toes under, press through your heel. Taking a little calf stretch, hamstring stretch here. And then we're going to lift that left leg just a bit, and you're going to send that left leg over to the right as far as you can go, keeping the hips basically towards the top of your mat. Lower that foot down, keep the toes tucked under, press through the heel again. And now sending your head and your upper body to take a look over to that left foot. So feeling that nice side body stretch. And bring your upper body back to center. And now you're going to drop that left knee down. So it's going to be behind the right leg. Untuck your toes. And then coming down to the forearms. So now feeling this in the right hip. Letting your head be heavy. Shoulders relaxed. Unclenching your jaw. And bringing the palms of the hands back to your mat. Pressing yourself back up. We'll come out of this the same way we came in. So you're going to tuck the toes of that left foot, extend that leg, and then bring that leg back and knee to your mat. You can just wiggle the hips out side to side. And coming to the other side, extend your right leg back, tuck the toes, press through the heel. So sending that heel towards your back wall or the back of your mat. And then lifting that right leg, sending it over to the left. Tuck the toes, press through the heel. And then looking over to the left, head and upper body. Bringing your upper body back to center. Lower that right knee down. Untuck your toes, coming back onto your forearms. Let's take one more breath here. Coming back to the palms of the hands to your mat. Tucking the toes through that right leg, extend that right leg out, and then bring it all the way back around. Knee to your mat and wiggle the hips out. And coming into a seated pose to close our time together. I hope these 7 poses really supported you and gave you some relief. I recommend that you come back to these poses time and time again. I don't believe you can ever do too much of this, even if your sciatica is not flared up, just for the hips in general and just to feel good. So if you enjoyed this practice and it supported you, please give this video a like. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, that would really support me and my channel growing. So I would appreciate that. And I look forward to practicing with you again soon. Namaste.